Hi everyone, it's John here from Xpos. Welcome to this week's edition of Friday Freebies. So this week we're going to take a look at the new features that we sent out on this week's update, which would have hit you guys around about Wednesday this week. So we've got some new features in there we're going to take a look at. So we've got the account transfers. So there's a couple of updates to the account transfers in Xpos. We're then going to take a look at the eagerly anticipated customer invoices. So this one was asked about from quite a lot of customers. So I'll explain about what it looks like, how it works, and all you need to know there. Then we're going to take a look at email receipts. Then we're going to have a look at publishing price band and loyalty bands. So what publishing means and what you guys need to do, I guess. Finally, we're just going to take a look at archiving a product. So I'll explain that when we get there, but it's basically just the best practice for managing archive products. Okay then, so without further ado, we're going to start off. I'm just going to first of all take you through, we're currently in the home screen of the Xpos system. So we would have sent you guys out this up to software update email this week. If I click into it, I'm just going to show you the updates that I've just told you about. Some of the new features are in that email. So if you want to know a little bit more, by all means, have a little look through the updates. I'm just going to take you through this first one, which is the account transfers. So account transfers then, predominantly they're used to send money from one account to another. So think about maybe your competitions. So let's go in and account transfer here. Let's have a little look. Right, so I'm going to select one of my competition accounts, so Two's account here for you. And on the right-hand side, I've got a bunch of customers now that have all been playing good golf, and they've all had a couple of twos recently. So we need to transfer some money. So let's select our customers. So the first thing to mention is maybe you type in the name of a customer and nothing appears, which hopefully won't really happen, but you might occasionally get it. You're halfway through doing all the transfers and you really need to add that customer in, okay? So how do you do that? No problem at all. You can pop up to the right-hand side now. We've got a new button there, add new customer. So pop them in exactly the same as the sales screen or the customer account screen. You can now pop in the first name and surname. And if you like to then as well, down the bottom here, you can type in a customer type, email address, whether they'd want the email receipt or not. But at this point, I can now tap confirm and Tom is in the system and we can send him some money. The next feature then, I'm just going to add a few more customers for this one to show you. And this was where, once you get to a certain number of customers, people were finding that it was quite hard to see the bottom customers and transfer money and complete the transfer because they didn't all fit on the screen. So I think you guys were having to adjust the screen size if you had a small PC or laptop like myself, whereas if you had a large screen, you're okay. No problem at all now. You can just use the sidebar here, go up and down, and then you can simply just fill in all of the figures, put obviously your notes in, maybe let references individually, press transfer, job done. Okay, so hopefully you'll find those couple of features there some real benefits for you. The next one then, so this was the customer invoices then. So this one was really kind of a biggie for customers. I think quite a lot of people have been asking for this function. So customer invoices is where you debit an account for a sale, and then from that you want to send the customer an invoice for the amount that they need to pay you. So how does it work then? Okay then, so in the Xpos system, let me take you through here. Let's go and find some sales. So I've made a couple of sales in here, but let's just pop another one through quickly. So got a customer here, John. Just buying a voucher, why not? And we've debited it to the account. So unlike a normal sale, where if you tap the sale, you just get the normal options in here. For a sale where you've now debited an account, you will be able to select the sale and view invoice. Then on the screen, you will have the customer's details on the left-hand side. Then you've got the invoice details with VAT number. If you've got batch details in the system, they will also show up on here as well. I haven't in my system. Then on the right hand side, you've got obviously the business details and you've got some information about the sale. If you have a customer email address against this customer, you will also have the option to email invoice to the customer, which means if I press that button, that'll instantly now email to that customer the email address, this invoice, which I think is great. There's a couple of features with this function that you can control. If you go to the main account in Xpos, so we're just going to go settings and customer accounts. In here, just going to look at the default account. So this would be the main account in Xpos. You will see a couple of little buttons here at the bottom, which under the word invoicing. So offer invoice basically means that the invoice function is live. If it wasn't ticked, it means it's not live. And under that, we've got the default payment period, which will show up for your customers. So you can change this. Maybe if you offer a 90-day payment, that'll show up on there. It's more of a visible reference to your customers. And you can change the invoice prefix as well. So they maybe like abbreviated company name or something in there. So that's the customer invoices for you guys then. The next one we're going to very briefly take a look at is the email receipts then. So email receipts is where you make a sale and the customer message pops up. Let me just have a little look for you guys here. So let me pop in a customer. From this customer, it might be that the customer makes a sale, buys a product, and you debit the account. The idea is if this customer has email receipts turned on, they will get instantly, a few moments after the purchase, a receipt email to them, and a receipt on my system looks a little bit like this. I've done one earlier on just to show you guys. It'll have all the information about the products they bought, who they were served by, what time they were served, and more importantly, what they bought and the payment methods there. There's a couple of little bits of info from that one. So just going to go back to the cloud system a second. So if a customer didn't have, maybe didn't want the email sent at that moment, so they didn't have the email statements on, you can always view a receipt, and there will always be an option at the top. As long as they've got an email address in the system in Xpos, there'll be an email receipt button. You can tap the email receipt and that'll instantly send the email. So that would be where they haven't got email receipts on, but they then after the sale said, "Hi guys, please could I get my receipt emailed to me?" Don't get me wrong, if these guys had, your customers had Caddy app, by all means direct them to Caddy app, and obviously they can see their receipts and statement details in the app, which I think is fantastic. But this is more if you've got one or two sales customers are asking for the receipts. Finally, from that, I'm just going to show you where, if we go onto my system here, where do you set the email and receipt templates? So if I go into the search bar at the top here, the universal search. So inside here, you've got the email setup, and all I've done is I've gone into insert image, grabbed an image for my golf club, and I've selected it and popped it in, and then I've put a couple of bits of info in here as well. Display name is generally your business name, and reply to email, if somebody happened to reply to an email, that's the one that would be used in my system. Okay then, so the next one to show you guys is the publishing of price and loyalty bands. So in the past, when you create a loyalty or price band, they'll be set up with the date ranges that you've set, and they'll run for those dates. We now have a little bit more control for you guys, where when you create a new price or loyalty band, you will need to then publish it for it to be live. But it does then have a function where if you need to unpublish it for any reason, you can do that. So if we just take a quick look here at price bands, you'll see I've got a few price bands running. It might be that this price band here for a shoe sale, I want to maybe take it down for a short period. You could unpublish it, which now means that that shoe sale promotion at the moment is not running. Now I want to reactivate it, or I want it published. So I will just click the publish button here, and that is now back live again. Any new price bands, as I said, or loyalty schemes that you create, you will need to tick the publish button up here. So select the promotion, tick the publish button, and that then will run that scheme. So hopefully a nice simple one for you guys, but that's just to make you aware of one of the sort of updates that we've made. It does mean then that when those schemes run, all the pricing and everything for customers are all linked to that scheme. It stops you being able to edit existing ones. It means you have to create new price bands and loyalty schemes. Okay then, so finally this week we're going to take you through the archive product. So archive product is where you've got a product in your system and maybe you decide, actually, I don't want that product in my system anymore. You have the facility to archive that item. And when you archive an item, you will get this archive products message. So this will show you, first of all, how many items or variants, so different sizes and colors you've got with a total value and quantity in your system. Now, first of all, it just to say, if you did archive, so here's my item here. So if you did archive this item, it will take the stock out. But as a best practice, what we would recommend is before you archive an item that you go to your stock control and stock the item out. So for this particular item, we would go stock control and then scan stock out. Once the item pops up, obviously normally you'd be zapping barcodes to be much quicker, but at the minute I've just put in quite a very sort of vague search here. But the idea is once the item pops up on the screen, you can put your quantities in, fill in the quantities that you want to stock out, press complete. Then if we go then back to the product screen here, you can search for that item again, archive it, and that way then at least you've got a better audit trail for the item because you'll have obviously had a function of stocking it out rather than just archiving it and the stock deleting off the system. So when you stock it out, you can put a reason in the box in the notes field to say, this is why I'm stocking it out. So when you do archive the product, there'll be a much nicer view for you guys then. So that's everything on this week's Friday Freebie session. Hopefully you guys will see some of the benefits in these updates that we send out on a monthly basis. By all means, if you have any questions at all, like always, you can send myself an email, john.williams@xpos.co.uk, or reach out to one of the support team. So at the top of your Xpos system, you've got the online chat function. We've also in here as well, you've got your videos. So all of our screens in Xpos have all got videos linked. So if we come in, I'm in the product screen, you can see the videos in here. We really think that there's some great content in there for you guys that can help you run your business effectively. And the main thing for us is that you've got all the channels that you need to reach out for us. And we're happy to speak to you guys all the time. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend, and we'll speak to you soon.